the Overman Warrior Podcast.
All right, Rich Hoffman here. I gotta say something because it's June 2026, and with Trump in the White House, it's nice not seeing the rainbow colors, all the pride garbage, at the White House, and pride flags broadcast on there. Hey, we support all this gay agenda. Let me explain. And I know, and I've heard it. I have some friends, and it's interesting because I do the bullwhips. People always associate bullwhips with bondage. I've never participated in anything like that. I never would participate in anything like that. When I do bullwhips, it's about cracking targets and putting out candles with it, doing circus tricks, and a reverence for the old Wild West arts. But I know a lot of people who are very good at bullwhips too, some of the best in the world. And by nature, the gay rights crowd's like, hey, will you come to my house and if I put a candle in my exit cavity, would you crack it out and let me videotape it? Because it's a fetish I have, and I want the excitement of it. And they get wrapped up in that lifestyle, and they start going that way, and it's gross to talk about. But I have to say it because, I have experience. I know a lot of people who have been seduced by that lifestyle, and I don't associate with them ever again because that's not, I'm a zero tolerance. They all think, we all kind of came up together. We all internationally know each other, been friends for decades and decades. And as the Tea Party evolved, I took my platform and I became much more conservative because I could use my circus tricks to get attention, get media attention. I did. I used to help do tax initiatives and political things. Some of these other guys didn't want to politically align with anything. Instead, they got wrapped up in the whole gay scene, the gay bar scene, where they'd go and they'd crack whips on stage, and all these the gay guys and the trans community would get all want to hire them out, and it was a good revenue stream for fetish kinds. And then pretty soon those guys are swapping spit in the shower, and they're crossing over. They let the beams cross, and they started getting wrapped up in that lifestyle. So some of them have been out advocating, which I find very disgusting, advocating for Pride Month. June is Pride Month. And they'll start off these statements by saying, I'm not overtly political. And they got very mad at me when I got very political. I've always been very conservative. But in a show business, this is one of the reasons I got invited to a lot of things. And, you associate with Hollywood people. When they sit with you at a catering tent and they realize, oh, you're from Cincinnati. Oh, you're a Bush supporter. Oh, you're going to vote for John McCain. Oh, you supported Mittens Romney in Utah. Oh, you're one of those Cincinnati conservatives. Oh, okay. You like Ronald Reagan. And they get up and sit a few seats away because they're not talking to you anymore. They're not inviting you to their once you let them know that you aren't swinging that direction, you get blacklisted pretty quick. So everybody stays away from talking about their politics. And then when I started doing it, these guys definitely distanced themselves from me. But we still know what each other do. We still kind of follow each other. And I saw one of them come out the other day with a gay pride thing for June. And they start off by saying, hey, I'm not, everybody knows I'm not a very political person. Well, when you're following the gay agenda, that's a political position. Because the politics of it, the Democrat part of it, why you have all these Democrats supporting it, why Obama and Biden used to light up the White House with gay pride rainbows, was to desecrate the rainbow. Rainbow, everybody knows, was the kind of the first sign of land, or the first sign of the storm was coming or ending after Noah had been at sea or during the flood. The rainbow had a Christian meaning, which of course the gay community wanted to desecrate because it's a return to perversions of human nature. And yes, the Bible condemns homosexual activity. And now when you have this, we've heard it for years, and it's been accused to me, the bullwhip and my guns and my cowboy hats and all the stuff I do, that it's, you live in a community in Butler County where all these people have moved in from the coast, California, New England, and now they're voting for Democrats because they brought their blue politics with them. They came from New York and bought real estate in Butler County, Ohio, in my neighborhood. And they would come in and they would see me do my videos, my YouTube stuff, my WLW interviews, and I would be very vocal about the bullwhip, my use of the bullwhip. And I wasn't doing it for, they would start off with the bondage jokes. Then when they realized, oh, you're not like that. Oh, you're not even like that a little bit. You are very judgmental. You're one of those God guys from Cincinnati, the Bible Bellers. Oh, we're ashamed to live near you. And that's the kind of thing you get. Well, the feeling's mutual. Believe me, I don't care for any of those people. And those are the kinds of people that would say, oh, he represents toxic masculinity. And that's why there's a movement now. I think they call them girly guys, girly boys, glamour girls, and they're boys that want to have the look feminine men, feminine boys, feminine boys. I've heard lots of different renditions of it, but the pattern as it's evolved out of Democrat politics has been to embrace the toxic masculinity. And if you talk with a little bit of a lispier voice, that's hip and in and shows that you're one of the cool people. And that's why my old friends think that, hey, we've experimented with the gay lifestyle and it's made us some money in the bullwhip community. And I like it. I've swung the other way a little bit. And I'm coming out in Pride Month so I can get more people to invite me over to do tricks that are grotesque, the sadomasochist type stuff. Not the kind of stuff you'd be proud of. But there's a lot of it goes on out there, and I know quite a lot of people that have crossed over. We are not friends anymore because I went clearly a direction and put my name next to it, a conservative direction. And everybody knows by now that I've been a Tea Party person, and I was one of the first ones on the MAGA train. And not that Trump is by any means anti-gay. He's not putting his arm around it and promoting it. And June has kind of gone by here with a whimper. But the people that are out there trying to advocate for it are following a gay agenda, and that gay agenda is to destroy young people, destroy masculinity, make young boys not want to be grow up to be tough guys. You see it in movies. The gay agenda is open. You don't see a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger types coming out in movies these days. They're not making movies like with Bruce Willis and Clint Eastwood and Mel Gibson used to do. They pushed those guys all out of the industry. Stopped making those movies. Sylvester Stallone for a while did the Expendables movies, which was kind of a throwback to the '80s tough guy movies, for which Arnold Schwarzenegger made all his money. And even a few years ago, when he was governor, he came out with a girly men comment, where a lot of Democrats and Republicans who were rhinos at the time had girly personalities, and they would kind of do their flamboyant sachets around, and that's where the gay agenda, which is very political, that's what they were trying to endorse. And you know why they were doing it? Because if you come up with a gay lifestyle, you convince all these boys not to grow up and become men that get women pregnant. They're not even interested in sex with women. That way they won't have children, and they'll save the earth. It's just another net zero scam like COVID was. That people like Bill Gates came up with, and all these losers looking for grant money from these government programs bought into this political agenda that put their arm around the gay rights And I can tell you why people do it. I told you of some of my friends who did it, and I saw some of their recent videos that put videos out in the bullwhip community announcing their support of Pride Month, June. But other than that, there hasn't been a whole lot. I was disappointed to see what they did. I've been ashamed of them for doing what they did within the bullwhip community. That it's not Western arts anymore. It's not supporting American tradition. It's swinging into the alternative sexual lifestyles, which are anti-American because part of the gay agenda. It's not so much putting people down because they come out as gay. It's pushing people out of what's called toxic masculinity and putting your arm around a kind of a feminine maleness to encourage more males to take on more feminine traits so they don't grow up and have babies. So you can have birth rate reductions on Earth and save the planet from humans. That is, in a political way, that's the rat nest they have, taking the poison back to the nest to kill all the rats. They look at the human beings as that, and they're trying through the public education system to create this gay agenda. It's a very real thing. It's very political. So when someone who is thinking about the whole gay agenda says, well, I'm not very political and I don't like politics, but I'm for this because I want to be hip and cool, and I want those people to think I'm cool and hip. I know what it feels like to sit down and say, yeah, I'm conservative as conservative gets. Yeah, I'll crack a cigarette out of your mouth, or I'll put a candle out if you're holding it in your lips. But I'm not going to come over to your house and participate in bondage rituals or activities, no matter how much money you throw. And some of these guys did. And then after the show was done, they're like, hey, you want to stick around a while? Yeah, I think we'll cross some beams. And I tried it and I liked it. And now 10 years later, 20 years later, I'm defending this very political lifestyle. And I find that reprehensible. And I had someone the other day, and I was walking around a very popular area, and someone said to me, how can you wear that hat out in public? Because it was a kind of a Levy supporter person. I think they recognize me. They know my politics because people pretty well know where I stand on things. And I was at Costco the other day, and I could not get out of the main lobby without 3 people stopping me and thanking me for, thank you for all you do. And that was good because there's been some nasty grams sent my way, and it's not that uncommon. But on this particular day, a few weeks ago, I had 3 people stop me and thank me for all these blogcasts and for the work on the blog, and they know what it means. They know it's tough business. And I did have somebody say, how dare you? How can you wear that hat in public? And I was like, what do you mean? It's a nice hat. And it's a Stetson. And it's a pretty expensive hat. How can you wear it? And they were implying that it's a representation of toxic masculinity. And I think it was agitated because I was outside the Sally's Roadhouse, the Western-oriented, Western-themed Mustang Sally's, I think it's called. The Western themed restaurant at Liberty Center. I was staying across from the Kona Grill. I was outside there, and they look like Levy supporters. All these are the kind of people. They all have a kind of shape to them. They're kind of angry moms that had probably rough births. So they kind of after in their child years, when their kids are from 5 to 10, they come out looking like squares. They're width the shoulders and their buttocks ratios are almost equal. They look like a Minecraft character. And they walked by me and they said, how dare you wear that hat? How can you wear that hat out at public out here? Because I guess they're from the East Coast. One of the friends of this Minecraft looking character sounded like they had a very New England accent, so they couldn't have been here very long, sounds like. That's how they came across. And the question was, how can you wear that as a symbol of toxic masculinity? It's like, well, that's why I'm wearing it, because it's a symbol of toxic masculinity, and I love masculinity. I'm projecting masculinity so that a lot of the young people won't be so confused, because culture certainly is trying to confuse them on purpose. They get at school, They get it on YouTube. They get it from their parents trying to be cool and hip. They get it from their friends. They get it everywhere. It's part of the culture, and it's very political. And it's a seduction that is just as vile and evil as Sodom and Gomorrah were in the days where they were trying to rape the poor angels that just went in to try and help Lot and Lot's daughters, and to help the mad, angry mob that wanted to rape them. We're talking about that level of evil is what we're talking about with this gay rights movement. And yeah, the Bible does condemn it, which is why they were anti-Bible, and they try to take symbols of the Bible like the rainbow and turn them into desecrations for the gay rights movement. So now when you see a rainbow, what do you think of? You think of pride flags. That's their marketing. And I'm happy to see we're not lighting up their White House with pride flags anymore. And we're not putting pride flags up equal with the United States flag. That's a difference with Trump. But the gay movement is very much a political movement. And it's meant to usher in a destruction of human perpetuation into lower birth rates in order to worship the earth and to kill human beings and depopulate the earth from those human beings so they don't go out and procreate and go make families. It's an anti-family agenda. And it's a very clear, progressive, political platform that is 100% political. So if you're out there advocating for the fem boys, I think they call it the fem boys that look like girls, think back to the 80s, the big hair bands where a lot of the big bands like Poison dressed up like girls. They almost looked like girls on stage. Except they'd wear, very tight pants so you could show off they could show off their attributes while in front of everybody. Very sexually charged, but it was a very kind of a femboy kind of thing. That's very much the Boy George thing. That's very much being broadcast in all of our public schools. It's all over YouTube. Almost every influencer advocates for it. Even the pedophile influencers are out there saying, hey, it's not bad to be gay. It's okay. It's nothing wrong with it. They're out there pushing it. And so a lot of young people who are being raised on YouTube, it's a pacifier for teenagers. What are they supposed to think? They're not getting it from media. Marvel has taken on the gay agenda. If you look at the chat rooms on even the Marvel Rivals, they have a lot of characters that they're trying to walk the line. They've been doing it. Marvel and Disney has been pushing the gay agenda for years. It's been a thing. It's destroyed the Star Wars product line. Introducing gay plot lines has really destroyed Star Wars because gay and space don't really go together very well, and gay and Marvel didn't go together very well. So now they're trying to backwalk it. And separate themselves from that gay agenda stuff and from gay days at the amusement parks. People don't like it. They don't want the uncomfortable. They don't want to be in a line in front of a couple people who are openly gay with each other, making out and grabbing each other. You don't want to see that with someone from the opposite sex. We certainly don't want to see it with someone of the same sex, whether it's a couple pretty girls or not. And to be honest with you, I was at a football game at the stadium downtown Cincinnati not that long ago, but in front of me was because I had good seats, in front of me was a porn filmmaker, and he and the two girls that were sitting directly in front of me were going to go make a porn together when the game was over. So he took them to a game before they went and did the porn, and the girls were making out right there in front of us, and it was very uncomfortable. I had my grandkids sitting there, and they kept wanting to talk to me, and I didn't want to talk to them. And I had nothing good to say. I was very uncomfortable that they were doing that in front of me. I did say, "Hey guys, come on, the kids are back here. Why you go to the clubhouse and go to the bathroom and do that if you want to. Go to some stall. Go to the handicap stall if you got to do that. Don't do it here. We don't want to know about it. We don't want to hear about it. We don't want to see it." And both the girls were really pretty. And I think a lot of people say, well, I'd be into that. That's cool. Wasn't cool. It was very uncomfortable. It was very garbagey, very, very low-lifed. And when the girls did get up to go the restroom together, I did say to the guy, I said, "Hey, don't you know that? What's wrong with you?" And he's like, "Hey, sorry, man. But look, these chicks are hot, and this is great. This is like my dream night." I said, "Well, this is one of those dreams you don't want to share with everybody else." I said, "Spare the kids. Let them enjoy a football game. Let them enjoy a day out with their grandpa. You can't go anywhere without someone pushing that crap on you." And it's very political, and they always say, "Hey, I'm not very political," so it's like to say, "But you're going to listen to what I have to say, even though it's a very political message, because I'm going to have a disqualifier that takes away the politics of it, and then we're going to broadcast it." When they're putting the pride flags on the White House, it's very political. It's a very political message, and Obama made it very political. And the gay agenda is a depopulation agenda, no matter what anybody wants to think about it. And I know it firsthand because I know a lot of people. I have had a front row seat to it over many years, and I've watched people I know who were straight as a road in Nevada turn into very curvy, mountainous roads once they started saying yes to a couple of those opportunities that should have never happened. It's everywhere, and it's on purpose, and it's meant to corrupt a whole generation of young people, and it's happening to the entire generation of young people now. I know because I know a lot of young people, and I know a lot of the YouTubers they like, and I know the way people conduct themselves in public. I'm not living in a vacuum. I don't do all these broadcasts in my own little world in a closet somewhere or my basement. I interact with a lot of people, thousands of people a week, so I know what's going on. And when it comes to the gay agenda, it's clearly what's going on. The femboy movement is meant to make boys want to be more like girls, so they don't attract girls, so they don't have babies. It's like it's abortion on steroids for the Democrats, progressives, and it's the next best thing to have everybody just taking the pill and having access in Planned Parenthood to the pill. The best way to not get pregnant and start families is to not even get pregnant at all by having everybody having sex with the same sex, so they're not even reproducing. And those girls I talked about, even 5 years ago, that would have been risque and out of scope, and the ushers would have come and taken them away. But a few years ago, and even now, it's normal. And I brought that up because if you go to like your local amusement park and they have a gay day, and you're in line in front of somebody they're making out, and you got a couple girls and they don't look very pretty. That's happened a lot of times. I can think of a time at Kings Island where we were in line for the space ride they have there, the Outer Limits, and we were unfortunately in a line with a couple of excessive, they call them dykes, because they're definitely the hairy armpit. They look like Legos all the way down. They look like blocks, and they're not very attractive. And they got the butch haircuts and all the classic lesbian signs that you get. Not the kind that that you hear about on Penthouse Forum or on some pornography video like that guy was getting ready to shoot at his apartment. No, these weren't very attractive people, and you have to be there, and they're making out in front of you. It's gross, and you're there with your grandkids. It's just disgusting. No wonder they're confused. Society's letting them down, and it is definitely a gay agenda that they are perpetuating, and it's as evil and vile as Sodom and Gomorrah. And yeah, the Bible condemns homosexual behavior. I think it's great. I'm glad somebody does. I'm glad it's listed somewhere in the Bible. It does, and we'd be a lot better society if we came out against it instead of for it. And I've given a few personal stories where it's at a great personal cost. I've been against it. I've been against it from the very beginning, and there's friends of mine that gained very lucrative 6-figure incomes per year getting into the S&M bondage racket. They get called up an ad in the paper, or they probably get contacted online these days, and they make $1,000 a night for cracking targets out of naked homosexuals. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. It's as bad as it sounds, and I say it for emphasis to make people uncomfortable. But I'm not talking about things that I don't know about. I've been friends with these people. I've known them for years, and we stopped being friends once that happened, because I'm not going there. They couldn't go conservative with me when I came out with Tea Party issues. They weren't like, hey, even though you are a staunch conservative, a Ronald Reagan conservative, we're still going to be friends with you. They stopped talking to me. We lost touch with each other, and once we stopped talking and meeting to do Wild West events together, they started doing these bondage gigs. And then people call you up and say, hey, here's a couple $1,000. Come, please bring your whips and crack stuff out of our mouth and off our bodies. We want the thrill of it. And we'll pay whatever you charge, whatever it takes. And some of those guys thought, yeah, what's it going to hurt? And they did it. And after the little get-togethers, the guys were like, hey, you can stick around for a while. There's free beer in the refrigerator. And then you start a few drinks later. You've got a bunch of people, all the same sex, stinking up an apartment, can't find their clothes, and it's gross. But that's the kind of stuff that the Obama administration very politically tried to put out. The Biden administration tried to keep it. Trump got pushed out of office so that those same types of people could continue their agenda, and they are very much trying to destroy the human race with their political platform, which is the gay agenda, and trying to make femboys out of all the young teenagers that are seeing it and hearing it on YouTube openly, and they're very confused about what masculinity is supposed to be. And I had it just the other day. How dare you wear that very toxic masculinity hat out in public? We know who you are. We know what you're doing. And how dare you appear like that in public? Well, lady, I'm going to do that a lot more. And when you say stuff like that, it makes me want to do it even more. When people see me at Costco and they're like, hey, thanks for what you're doing. Even more so, it's like, hey, I love the hat. A lot of people tell me, I love the hat. I wish I had the courage to wear a hat like that. And they just don't. You should. Hats are good. Especially the hats like this. Anyway, Rich Hoffman here. Share, subscribe me. Tomorrow, a better day. If you haven't read my book, The Gunfighter's Guide to Business, I think you'll love it. Anyway, have a good day. And yes, Pride Month is a very political month. It's a political movement meant to exterminate the human race. And we should take it very serious. It's very bad stuff. And have a good day. See you later.
In the age of disclosure, you must understand the politics of heaven. Coming soon.
Coming soon. The politics of heaven in 2027. A treasure hunt through heaven and all human history.